Onion production is on the increase and the agro-parks are major players.
We have caused to be established over 70 hectares of onions. 35 of those hectares are in the agro-parks.
Plus a boost for the West Indian Island sea cotton industry in Jamaica.
West Indian Sea Island cotton presents an immense opportunity for Jamaica to increase foreign exchange earnings and thereby positively impact the economy.
The Agriculture Ministry, streamlining initiatives to drive productivity, increase production and expand the sector's revenue capacity. Keep watching Jamaica Magazine as the details unfold. I'm Carrie-Ann Smith.
Parents, make sure the children get immunized. Hear this! Immunization, it is a must. This is not a joke thing, this you can trust. It is required by law for entry to nursery, to daycare and to schools. Listen up, it is necessary to prevent diseases such as the measles, the poliomyelitis, the lockjaw and the whooping cough. Immunize your kids, keep them healthy, keep them strong. Prevent deadly diseases such as mumps, rubella and diphtheria. Immunize your child today. Immunization, a key to good health.
A message from the Ministry of Health and PAHO.
Good day, I'm Andrea Chizom and this is your JIS News for Thursday, March 26. Government is to set up an energy stabilization fund to receive and manage the money from the oil hedge program. It will protect against any sharp increases to international oil prices and the potential negative consequences for Jamaica's economy.
These resources include the proceeds from a portion of the additional $7 per litre of specific STC, specifically $5 per litre, as well as any future payments from the hedge contract should future oil price movements lead to such payments.
The Finance Minister, who was closing the budget debate in Parliament on Wednesday, added that the money for the Energy Stabilization Fund would go into a dedicated sub-account in the Bank of Jamaica. It will be managed by the Development Bank of Jamaica in conjunction with the Finance Ministry. The Finance Minister also told Parliament that a ministry paper to be tabled soon would outline governance arrangements for the Energy Stabilization Fund, including its reporting and transparency arrangements.
We also intend to bring legislation in the not-too-distant future, which will establish in a binding and transparent way the energy stabilization purposes for which these resources may be utilized.
Meanwhile, CEO of the private sector organization of Jamaica, Dennis Chung, is commending the government's fiscal legislative reforms. Mr. Chung was speaking during a special JIS post-budget panel discussion Wednesday. He said the fiscal legislative reforms have helped to reduce the country's inflation rate.
What we're seeing now, which is positive, is that we're actually now stabilizing the macro environment with a reduced debt to GDP ratio.
Yes.
In previous years, what we've done is, and this from the 70s coming up, what we've done is stabilize the macro with an increased debt to GDP ratio. And that's the difference.
As part of the economic reform program, government has developed fiscal rules to limit the annual fiscal deficit to reduce the public debt to no more than 60% of gross domestic product by 2025-2026. Public sector wage negotiations for the 2015-2017 contract period formally began today at the Ministry of Finance and Planning. The negotiations were led by Minister with responsibility for the public service Horace Daly and the Chief Technical Negotiating Team representing the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions JCTU. That negotiating team is led by JCTU Vice President Helene Davis White. Approximately 37 bargaining units will be negotiating with the government during this period. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller is urging peoples of the world to band together to end all forms of modern-day slavery. The Prime Minister made the call as she unveiled the permanent memorial to honor the victims of slavery and the transatlantic slave trade in a ceremony held at the United Nations headquarters in New York on Wednesday.
And I want to mention particularly child labor and human trafficking. This must stop. May we use this memorial to say no to all forms of racism, discrimination, and intolerance, and maintain the fight to end racial discrimination and injustice wherever in the world they exist.
Following the unveiling of the monument, Mrs. Simpson Miller participated in a UN General Assembly plenary meeting to commemorate the March 25 International Day of Remembrance of the victims of slavery and the transatlantic slave trade. Mrs. Simpson Miller is also engaging members of the Jamaican diaspora at a town hall meeting. And finally, the 2015 Grade 6 Achievement Test GSAT got off to a smooth start all across the island this morning. The Education Ministry says although there was residual smoke at schools in the vicinity of the Riverton City disposal site in St. Andrew, students and teachers said it was manageable and would not affect the holding of the exam. The ministry had pushed back the start time by a half hour to 9:30 a.m. to limit students' exposure to the smog. Meanwhile, it was previously revealed that the 38,407 students registered to take the test will see some changes in this year's GSAT content for which students had been preparing for the past 2 years.
The changes had to do with the reduction of the number of items for social studies, which of course would have been as a result of some of the areas being removed from the social studies curriculum from grade 4 to 6, as well as the reduction in the science content, but that did not affect the number of items for the exam.
And that's it for GIS News today. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Thank you for watching.
This is one time we don't want you to laugh.
Staying safe on the road is a serious thing.
Mr. Taxi driver and bus driver, take time, man. People, so one-stop driver and come off.
Cyclists, motorcyclists, pedestrian, all road users using the head.
Only if you use cell phone and drive. No, man.
Idiot thing that.
Road safety is no laughing matter.
Because we want you to be around
and laughing with us for a long time.
A message from the National Road Safety Council and National Health Fund.
As part of strategies to increase onion production to sustain local demand and cut import, government assisted farmers with seeds, fertilizers and irrigation. This was extended to farmers on the agro-parks, adding some 35 hectares in just a few months, and the yields are looking good. As part of efforts to achieve self-sufficiency in onion demand, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries has increased production on agro-parks across the island.
And the agro-parks which we are treating with at this time are, of course, where we are, Yalas, Planting Garden Rivers, Amity Hall, Ebony Park, and for some of those areas outside of the agro-parks, we are including Colbeck, Braco, and a number of adjoining areas around those areas I just mentioned.
By 2017, onion import to the island is expected to be reduced by 90 to 100% under the Onion Development Program.
The objectives of the program to achieve that overall goal essentially is to build the capacity of farmers and technocrats in onion production and marketing.
So assistance through the $10 million GOJ Adaptation Fund program put farmers to work. The program is being administered by the Planning Institute of Jamaica.
They significantly came in with financial resources in the provision of seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, and land preparation.
Between September 2014 and January 2015, over 70 hectares of onion were planted. 35 of those hectares are in the agro-parks. Ongoing harvesting from March to May 2015 is expected to yield over 1 million kilograms of onions. And of that number, 600,000 kilograms will be reaped from farms within the agro-parks network. The remaining 500,000 kilograms are expected from farms outside of the network.
That is considerable, ladies and gentlemen, in light of the fact that in 2030, we only produce 680 tons.
This initiative has shifted onion production norm of 12 tons per hectare closer to the 20 tons needed to satisfy local demand and achieve self-sufficiency for the country.
Based on what you will see and what we have estimated, we have raised the bar already in terms of productivity, because we are seeing on average that we'll be coming out at about 16 tons per hectare for the agro-parks.
A tour of the Yallas Agro Park in St. Thomas showed reaping in high gear. 20 hectares of onion is now under production there, a 100% increase over the same period in 2014. Agriculture and Fisheries Minister Derek Kellier says this level of production, which is being facilitated under the Onion Development Program, is expected to reduce importation by 15% in this first phase.
We are prepared in the ministry to do all we can to see and ensure the success of these agro-parks and the particular crops that we have targeted. So between RADA, NIC and the ministry and the people in research, I think we have an adequate team to make sure that this program succeeds.
We have a twofold involvement. One, we provide the water service, and then we have the on-farm water management service. We advise the farmer in the initial stage how to design their irrigation systems, and then when we provide the water, when they become customers, we provide the day-to-day advice on when is time to irrigate or when is not.
In addition to the GOJ Adaptation Fund program, the success of the Onion Development Program is also credited to other supportive divisions of the Ministry of Agriculture.
We have the National Irrigation Commission, Research and Development, the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, Agricultural Land Management Division. That's very important. That's what was formerly called the Rural Physical Planning Division. This has to do with the soil analysis and so on, which are critical to what we want to do. Project Management, the Marketing Division. These are important allies within our team in going forward.
And the farmers at Yallas, they welcome the program.
We got 2 assistants from the GOJ Adapted Fund and JSIF, and where we got irrigation equipment such as drip and tank, and that assisted us and hose in terms of the 50 mm and 40 mm 32. They assist us in taking the water to the farm so that we can have adequate water to water the crops on the farm, and we are really grateful.
The program is a big help to us, and I like when the government come in and helping the farmer in St. Thomas. Right, so I wish they come and give us more help so we can produce more, so we can feed ourselves, so we can cut off all of the import, because we can grow this right here.
I thought it to be a very sustainable way of income, and it will also create employment for other persons around the community. This is the first onion crop for me. I will be receiving about 20-some thousand pounds, and I think that is still a good benefit in terms of the yield.
Are you registered to vote? If not, don't miss your chance of getting on the next voters list. The deadline for registration is Tuesday, March 31. Persons not registered by March 31 will not be on the May voters list and cannot be added before November 2015. To get registered, simply visit the EOJ constituency office nearest you. For more information, call us at 922-0425 or visit ecj.com.jm. Remember, voting is your right.
Diversifying our agricultural sector to capitalize on the export market is a priority under the government's economic program. The cotton industry is being targeted with potential foreign exchange earnings of $1 billion.
The Agriculture Ministry has been strategic in its work to position the sector to capitalize on the export market.
Increased production towards the expansion of export agriculture has a pivotal role to play as Jamaica continues on its path to sustainable economic growth.
The ministry's partnership with the government of Japan to invest in the West Indian Sea Island cotton industry is a clear example. One year ago, a grant was signed with the government of Japan for $106,000 or 11 million Jamaican dollars to support the development of the West Indian Sea Island cotton industry in Jamaica. The grants allowed for the purchasing of equipment such as a high crop tractor, a boom sprayer, and an inter-row cultivator to drive production. As a result, 300 acres of West Indian Sea Island cotton were put into production, 130 in St. Mary and 170 in Old Harbour, St. Catherine.
The crop care has been excellent at all 3 locations. There's also been major savings in transportation costs, as we're now able to have one set of equipment in St. Mary and one in Old Harbour, thus avoiding the efforts of having to transport the equipment from parish to parish as we had to do in the past.
It will certainly help to maintain our production level and will also bring us to market much earlier than before.
It is also my wish that the project will assist promoting economic development of Jamaica by increasing productions of the export items and create new jobs.
The project is being monitored by the Agriculture Ministry through the Jamaica Agricultural Development Foundation. The production of 5,000 acres of West Indian Sea Island cotton is targeted by 2017. But for the 2015-2016 crop year, it's working to increase the current 300 acres to 800 by engaging private investors.
To this end, we're in discussion with Caribbean Broilers, who planted an experimental plot this year of about 2 acres, regarding the possibility of them having a greater involvement in the development of the industry in Jamaica.
And with a high demand for this premium cotton, the partnership presents the opportunity for Jamaica to increase its production and capitalize on the export supply. Japan is one of the main purchasers of the cotton, but it is also in demand in other markets such as Switzerland, the United States, Italy, and the United Kingdom. The Sea Island cotton is rated as the world's best quality cotton for its fiber length, silk-like quality, fineness, and texture. It is estimated that the demand for cotton lint per year is 3 million tons, with Japan requiring approximately 2.1 million pounds or 1,050 tons a year. And when considering the selling price, getting involved in the West Indian Sea Island cotton industry makes viable business sense for the government. Market price for this cotton is in the region of $10 per pound of lint when compared to other cottons with prices as low as $1 per pound.
West Indian Sea Island cotton presents an immense opportunity for Jamaica to increase foreign exchange earnings and thereby positively impact the economy.
This market has the potential of earning $1 billion in foreign exchange and the capacity of creating 15,000 new jobs.
We are expected in the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries to play a very serious role in ensuring that growth continues in the country in the agricultural sector.
The Jamaica Agricultural Development Foundation's commitment towards the development of the cotton industry is for Jamaica to have, at some point, its own spinning and weaving equipment.
And then to move to the stage where we can have our own designers actually designing certain garments that would actually be truly Jamaican, moving from our own cotton all the way to the final fabric and to the design pieces that actually gets into the high street shops.
Be an active participant in your child's life. Spend time with your child. No phones, no television, no distractions. Just the two of you. Get to know your child through play. Why not go to the park and get on the monkey bars? Sharing a meal can also be a time of bonding. If your child's in school, be involved in school activities. Speak with your child's teacher. Follow up on their progress in school and see how you can help. Assist them with homework. Attend parent-teacher meetings and support school fundraising events. Remember, your child's future is in your hands. Safeguard it.
So glad you are a child of mine.
Earlier we were in the onion and cotton fields, but now it's time to leave the farm and head into the streets, but not without exercising care. Get some safety tips in the upcoming feature. These
are a few of the features that help make the vehicles we travel in each day safe for motorists and passengers. Hi there, I'm Alison. In this edition of Road Scholars, we explain some of the passive and active safety features of the car and how they help to prevent and minimize injuries.
Active safety refers to systems that helps to avoid an accident, while passive safety refers to features that minimize the injury to occupants of a motor vehicle when it is involved in a crash. These active safety systems are the steering and the braking of the motor vehicle that are operated by the driver, while the passive safety features are like the airbag and seatbelt that is activated by the vehicle itself when it is involved in a crash.
And speaking of a crash, it is important to buckle up at all times, because not only does a seatbelt save lives, but it helps to prevent lifetime and long-term injuries.
It's very important to wear the seatbelt. In case of an accident, the seatbelt will keep you from going forward.
In case of sudden impact, you don't, fly from the seat or from the vehicle, so it keeps you stabilized.
And if you don't wear the seatbelt, you can be persecuted. So it's very important to drivers to always wear a seatbelt, because it saves life.
Under the Road Traffic Act, you can be fined $500 and 2 points if you are caught driving without wearing a seatbelt. The same fine applies if your vehicle is not fitted with seatbelts. And then there's a penalty of $800 for not ensuring the safety of your passengers.
Persons must remember that the seatbelts are installed in the vehicle as a safety device to minimize the injury that you might receive in the event of a collision. So persons who are wearing the seatbelt in this fashion, right, this is not the correct way. The seatbelt must be worn right across your shoulder. If the seatbelt is too high based on your height, then it can be adjusted to fit right across your shoulder. And if you are a tall person, it can also be adjusted so that it fits you as best as possible for your own safety.
Children are precious, and their safety must be taken into consideration when traveling in a motor vehicle. So if they are too small, a child or booster seat must be used. This is recommended for children under the age of 7.
You should also make sure that it is firmly fitted in the vehicle, allowing for minimal forward or sideways movement. Let us use these safety devices to help protect our children from death and serious injuries in road crashes.
The purpose of the headrest is to support the neck and the head. And in case of an accident, your head would be going back way.
I think where whiplash is concerned, it give you protection from that also.
It don't make your neck strain or it hurts. It just relaxable. So you're more comfortable, so you concentrate on the street more.
The headrest is sometimes mistaken for a luxury feature, but it is actually another valuable safety feature on your vehicle. The headrest or head restraint is actually to minimize or prevent a whiplash injury during a collision. It should be adjusted to the height of the driver and passenger's head, and there should be at least 2 inches between your head and the headrest.
This is the highest this particular headrest can be extended. So this will be okay. So in the event of a crash and the vehicle is stopped suddenly, on impact, the seatbelt will restrict your forward movement and the headrest will restrict the backward movement to avoid any whiplash injury.
Nutritious food.
succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Original.
This is where we say so long, but please join us again tomorrow, same time, same station, for another insightful program. Until then, keep the link via our website, jis.gov.jm. We welcome your feedback, so keep sending your comments to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm or via tweet @JIS News. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Carrie Ann Smith. Pleasant viewing.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.